the silent fire destroying you from inside, body part, full body. And I will frame it around chronic inflammation, the hidden full body. Silent fire, linked to fatigue, weight gain, heart disease, diabetes, brain fog, joint pain, and even premature aging. Here is part 1 of your script. What if I told you there's a fire burning inside your body right now, and you can't feel it? It doesn't hurt at first. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't send smoke signals. But slowly, quietly, it weakens your heart, clouds your brain, stiffens your joints, damages your gut, and speeds up aging. This silent fire is called chronic inflammation, and it may be the real reason you feel tired, heavy, foggy, or older than you should. Right now, inside your body, there is a powerful defense system working 24 hours a day. It's designed to protect you. If you cut your finger, inflammation rushes in to heal it. If a virus enters your body, inflammation activates to destroy it. In short bursts, inflammation is life-saving. But what happens when that protective fire never turns off? Imagine lighting a small fire to cook your food. Useful, controlled, necessary. Now imagine that same fire spreading through your house, slowly burning the walls from the inside. That's chronic inflammation. Unlike an infection or injury, chronic inflammation doesn't scream for attention. It whispers. It simmers. It quietly damages cells, tissues, blood vessels, and organs for years. Scientists now believe this silent inflammation is linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disorders, Alzheimer's disease, depression, fatty liver, and even cancer. Not because inflammation is evil, but because it's stuck in attack mode. Let's understand what's really happening inside you. Your immune system is like a security team. When danger appears, bacteria, toxins, injury, immune cells release chemical messengers called cytokines. These chemicals increase blood flow, bring white blood cells to the area, and start repair. That's acute inflammation. It's short-term and helpful. But modern life keeps triggering the alarm system over and over again. Ultra-processed foods high in sugar and refined oils, chronic stress, lack of sleep, sedentary lifestyle, environmental toxins, smoking, excess body fat, especially around the belly. Each of these acts like a tiny spark. Alone, they seem small. Together, they keep the immune system constantly activated. Now imagine your body living in permanent low-grade emergency mode. Your blood vessels become irritated. Your insulin signaling weakens. Your gut lining becomes more permeable. Your brain cells become inflamed. Your joints lose lubrication. And the scariest part, you may not feel anything specific, just off. You wake up tired even after sleeping. You crave sugar. You gain weight easily. You feel stiff in the morning. Your mind feels slower. You get sick more often. This is not normal aging. This is inflammation stealing your vitality. Let's talk about the full body impact. In the heart, chronic inflammation damages the inner lining of blood vessels. This makes cholesterol more likely to stick and form plaques. Over time, Arteries narrow and harden, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. In the brain, inflammation interferes with neurotransmitters. It affects memory, mood, and focus. Long-term inflammation has been linked to cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. In the gut, inflammation disrupts the microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that regulate immunity, digestion, and even mental health. When the gut lining becomes irritated, tiny particles can leak into the bloodstream, further fueling inflammation. This is sometimes called leaky gut. In fat tissue, especially belly fat, inflammatory chemicals are constantly released. This creates insulin resistance, making it harder for cells to absorb glucose. Blood sugar rises, energy crashes. Fat storage increases. A vicious cycle begins. Even your skin shows signs. Acne, eczema, premature wrinkles, all can be connected to internal inflammation. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Chronic inflammation often begins years before disease is diagnosed. You don't wake up one day with diabetes. You don't suddenly develop heart disease overnight. You don't instantly lose cognitive sharpness. It builds slowly, quietly. And because there's no sharp pain warning you, you ignore it. Modern research shows that one of the strongest drivers of this silent fire is diet, especially ultra-processed foods. When you eat excessive sugar, your blood glucose spikes. High blood sugar damages proteins in your body through a process called glycation. This creates advanced glycation end products, harmful compounds that trigger inflammation. Refined vegetable oils, high in omega-6 fatty acids, can also tip the balance toward inflammatory pathways when consumed excessively without enough omega-3s. Highly processed foods lack fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients, the natural anti-inflammatory compounds found in vegetables, fruits, herbs, and spices. Then there's stress. When you're under constant stress, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline in short bursts, helpful. Chronically, it dysregulates immune function and increases inflammatory signaling. Emotional stress can become biological inflammation. Lack of sleep adds fuel to the fire. Studies show even a few nights of poor sleep can elevate inflammatory markers in the blood. Your body repairs itself at night. When sleep is short or disrupted, inflammation rises. And then there's movement or the lack of it. Your body was designed to move. Muscle contractions release anti-inflammatory molecules called myokines. When you sit for hours daily, that protective effect disappears. So what does this mean? It means the silent fire isn't caused by one thing. It's the accumulation of modern habits. But here's the empowering part. Inflammation is reversible. Your body is incredibly resilient. When you remove the triggers and support natural repair systems, the fire can calm down. Energy can return. Brain fog can lift. Weight can stabilize. Skin can glow again. In part 2, we'll go deeper into how to recognize the hidden warning signs your body is sending, the blood markers doctors look at, and the exact daily habits that scientifically reduce inflammation from head to toe. This is not about extreme diets or magic supplements. It's about understanding your biology and working with it, not against it. If chronic inflammation is a silent fire, how do you know if it's burning inside you? Because here's the truth. Most people don't realize they're inflamed. They think they're just busy, stressed, or getting older. But your body always leaves clues. Maybe you wake up feeling stiff, especially in your hands, knees, or lower back. That morning stiffness isn't just random. Overnight, inflammatory chemicals can accumulate in joints. When you start moving, circulation improves and stiffness eases. Maybe you feel constantly tired, not sleepy but drained. That heavy-wired but exhausted feeling. Chronic inflammation interferes with mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your cells. When mitochondria are inflamed, energy production drops. You're running on low battery even after a full night in bed. Brain fog is another common sign. Difficulty focusing, forgetting small things, struggling to find words. Inflammatory molecules can cross into the brain and affect communication between neurons. Your thoughts feel slower, like your mind is moving through thick air. Frequent cravings, especially for sugar and processed carbs, can also signal inflammation. When insulin resistance begins, cells struggle to absorb glucose efficiently. Your brain interprets this as low energy, even if your blood sugar is high. So you crave quick fuel. Digestive discomfort is another warning. Bloating, gas, irregular bowel movements, acid reflux. When the gut lining is irritated and the microbiome is imbalanced, inflammation increases both locally and throughout the body. Skin issues are often visible reflections of internal inflammation. Persistent acne, rosacea, eczema, or unexplained rashes can signal that the immune system is overstimulated. Even mood changes matter. Low-grade inflammation has been linked to anxiety and depression. Certain inflammatory cytokines can influence serotonin and dopamine pathways. This means emotional symptoms can sometimes have biological roots. Now, beyond symptoms, there are measurable signs. Doctors often check markers like C-reactive protein, especially high sensitivity CRP. Elevated levels suggest systemic inflammation. Other markers may include fasting insulin, fasting glucose, triglycerides, and certain white blood cell counts. But here's something important. You can have normal lab results and still experience low-grade inflammation that hasn't yet crossed the diagnostic threshold. That's why prevention matters more than waiting for disease. Now let's talk about the biggest drivers and what you can do starting today. First, food. Your diet can either pour gasoline on the fire or act like water. Ultra-processed foods, packaged snacks, sugary drinks, refined white bread, processed meats tend to spike blood sugar rapidly. Repeated glucose spikes increase oxidative stress, which damages cells and triggers inflammatory pathways. Instead, focus on whole foods that naturally calm inflammation. Colorful vegetables are powerful because they contain antioxidants and polyphenols. compounds that neutralize free radicals. Leafy greens, broccoli, bell peppers, carrots. The more color on your plate, the more protective compounds you're consuming. Fruits like berries are especially rich in flavonoids known to reduce inflammatory markers. Healthy fats matter deeply. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon and sardines, help balance inflammatory signaling. Walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds also contribute beneficial fats. Spices are more than flavor. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound studied for its anti-inflammatory effects. Ginger, garlic, and cinnamon also support immune balance. Fiber is critical. It feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, compounds that reduce inflammation in the gut and beyond. Beans, lentils, oats, and vegetables are excellent sources. Second, movement. You don't need extreme workouts. In fact, overtraining can increase inflammation. What your body thrives on is consistent, moderate movement. Brisk walking for 30 minutes a day can significantly reduce inflammatory markers. Strength training improves insulin sensitivity and reduces visceral fat, one of the strongest sources of inflammatory chemicals. Even short movement breaks during long sitting periods make a difference. Every time you contract your muscles, you send anti-inflammatory signals through your bloodstream. Third, sleep. During deep sleep, your body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and regulates immune function. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of consistent, high-quality sleep. Reduce screen exposure before bed. Keep your room dark and cool. Maintain a regular sleep schedule. Even 1 week of improved sleep can lower inflammation. Fourth, stress regulation. You cannot eliminate stress, but you can change your response to it. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calming inflammatory responses. Just 5 minutes of slow, controlled breathing can lower stress hormones. Meditation, prayer, journaling, spending time in nature, these are not luxuries. They are biological tools. Social connection is also protective. Positive relationships reduce inflammatory markers. Isolation increases them. Fifth, body composition. Excess visceral fat, the deep belly fat around organs, acts like an inflammatory organ. Losing even 5 to 10% of body weight can significantly reduce inflammation. This doesn't require crash dieting. Sustainable habits, whole foods, movement, sleep naturally shift body composition over time. Now let's address something powerful. Your body is not your enemy. Inflammation is not trying to harm you. It's trying to protect you. The problem is not the system, it's the constant triggers. When you remove the triggers, your body responds. Within days of reducing sugar and ultra-processed foods, blood sugar stabilizes. Within weeks of consistent walking, insulin sensitivity improves. Within months of better sleep and nutrition, inflammatory markers can drop significantly. And people feel it. Clearer thinking, more stable energy, less joint pain, improved digestion, better mood. It's not magic, it's biology. In part 3, we'll bring everything together and talk about a simple, realistic anti-inflammatory blueprint you can follow without extreme restrictions to protect your full body long-term. We'll also explore how small daily choices compound into powerful transformation.